What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is the Circle Atlanta Season 1, Episode 8. So yeah, this review is long overdue, and my apologies to the Circle Atlanta, but it is what it is. But I'm getting caught up. So we start off this episode. We are still at the speed dating event, and we are getting a little more information and a little more insight on what is going on. First of all, let me just say, Dante is for the streets, okay? Dante seemed like they hung out with Cash, got drunk one night. They slept in the same bed. Now, later on in the episode, he said something about it being a twin bed. Sir, who is still sleeping in a twin bed? And y'all were naked, but ain't nothing happened. Let me be clear. I ain't slept in a twin bed with another person since I was in college. And I used to go over to my boyfriend's dorm. Okay? How two grown ass... Okay, I'm just going to pretend like that didn't happen. I'm going to just pretend like he ain't say a twin bed. Or I heard him wrong. But Cash said, you got a big mouth, you talk too much, and just because of that, you're not getting none. He said, you don't know how to keep your mouth shut. He said, you talking too much, you ain't supposed to let everybody know what's going on. What me and you was doing between me and you, whether anything went down or didn't go down, you weren't supposed to come back to the group and tell nobody. Now, it also seems like he done spent the night over to the Melly house. Now, according to Melly, it ain't nothing going on, and they ain't doing nothing. Now, according to Dante, Melly liked him, and they was flirty. He said that Melly was doing it away from the camera because he didn't want people to know that he liked him. Listen, Dante, that's not a compliment. Let's assume it's true. I don't know whether it's true or not. I don't know, Melly. It ain't looking good for you, Melly, because it sounds like it might be a little bit of ring to it. But that's not a compliment. So I wouldn't be going around telling nobody, because that's not a compliment to say, well, he don't want nobody to know. Because it don't sound like nobody is claiming you. Let's be clear, Dante. Nobody's claiming you, sir. Then at the speed dating event, Dante is flirting with Eugene. Now, let's be clear. Eugene, that's a non-starter. Well, let me not say it's a non-starter, because I can't tell somebody what they will or won't do. But Eugene was disgusted at the fact that you were smoking a cigarette. He's talking about something, well, if me and you going out on a date, that's your last cigarette. Eugene, you know that's not how that works, right? Okay. But let me get back to the speed dating event, because I done got ahead of myself with this whole Dante situation. Because I feel like the Dante conversation dominates the majority of this episode, and then the Tevin conversation, which we're going to talk about in a second, dominates the rest of it. And it's a little bit of shit sprinkled in between, but let's get to it. So Martell said if he was in the bed with Cash naked, it was going down. So all of that, ain't nothing happened. He ain't buying it either. I ain't buying it. Who buying it? Who buying it? Now, Cash, you know I love you. You know I like you. I like you, boo. I've been loving you, Cash, since you was on your own show that nobody know you was on. But Cash, now I also don't feel like Cash is the type of person that will lie, because he is clear to let everybody know that he got some good stuff and what the rules and regulations are of getting a piece of said stuff. So I don't think that he would necessarily lie on his stuff. But I got some questions. So they doing the speed gay dating. They played some icebreaker games, which I thought was cute. I thought the event was cute. This was Mulatto and Rico's event, I think. I thought it was really cute. I mean, they didn't have as many people as they wanted to have. And it is what it is. It was still during the Rona. You know, people still, wasn't necessary. Well, down in Atlanta, y'all act like that shit didn't happen. Y'all ain't stopped doing nothing down in Atlanta, so maybe not. But he said it was rush hour too. Now, I'm going to give Melly and Jewel credit. When it was time to rotate to each other, they didn't make a scene. They didn't cause a problem. They, they played the game. They sat there and talked. Jewel said she still feel how she feel about Melly, and Melly said he still feel how he feel about Jewel. But the fact that they could coexist and they could, not mess up the event for everybody else, and they could just go with the flow, I thought that was very mature on both of their parts. Now, Rico won for best date. So congratulations to you, Rico. Rico won for best date. Melly won for least desirable to date. Melly, what was you doing to them people that everybody voted that they didn't want to date you? Oh. Now, when he rotated to Dante, him and Dante could not sit there and have a civilized conversation. It was crazy. I'm like, you had a more civilized conversation with Jewel than you had with Dante. But anyway, and Cash, though, he should have won. I think he should have won too, Cash. So then we had a whole situation with Jewel and Rico on a phone call, and let me just break this whole thing down. So the crew decided they wanted to do a charitable event, and so it was Melly, Mulatto, Rico, Cash. I think they met down at Melly's spot, Melly's office, and his project manager pulled some charities, and the idea they came up with was that they would work in teams, and each team would buy the items to go into like a toiletry bag, like an overnight bag, and they would identify charities that they could donate the bags to. And a couple of the charities, one was specifically about trans sex workers, and it was like providing them like a toiletry bag, if they're on the streets for whatever reason. And that's important because when we get to Jewel, that's important. So we got, the way they filmed it was weird because we saw the conversation with Rico and Jewel talking, and then I think they were kind of doing a flashback to it. So the conversation with Rico and Jewel was starting off with the fundraiser, and then we sort of flashed back to see how we got to this situation. So Rico was talking to Jewel and saying basically, listen, I don't have no beef with you. I like you. I like your energy. But we are working on this project. We want to put people in teams. I want you to know that Melly is doing it and Mulatto. And I know you got some sort of situation going on with Melly. You got some sort of situation going on with Mulatto. Jewel's thing was, listen, I can work with anybody. It is what it is. I appreciate you letting me know. Thank you for the consideration. But, I mean, if Mulatto is cool, then I'm cool. And as far as Melly is concerned, as long as we ain't on the same team, that's cool. Now, the conversation about the whole transphobia situation came up again because Jewel was like, well, I'm just interested in finding out how Melly B could make a donation or be wanting to do a charitable act for an organization that he's phobic against. I mean, not organization, but a group of people that he has a phobia against. Because remember the whole transphobia situation with Jewel and Melly B. Now, Rico once again tried to reiterate what Melly B was saying. Is like, listen, I'm not transphobic. I don't have a problem with the community. I have a problem with that person, okay? I'm not talking to everybody. I'm talking about that person. I'm not debating it again. Don't put it in my comments. I ain't about to sit here and debate whether it's transphobic or not. It is what it is. We've been talking about this for 3 episodes. I'm done with it. I'm just relaying to you what the conversation was. And Jewel was like, you can't separate the two. You can't say that you don't respect the gender and not be transphobic. And so there's that, and that's that on that, and that's what it is. So then that's when we got the flashback to how we got here, how they decided what organization, how they decided the teams, and things of that nature. We also saw where they were going to eat. Now, one thing Dante did say that I thought was hilarious, Dante told Melly that he always eating, that he greedy and he always eating. Melly, you are always eating. I feel like every time they show you, you are eating something. And it is hilarious because Melly was sitting there when they were in that meeting. He was like, can we hurry up because I'm hungry? And all I could do was think about when Dante told him, you always got some food in your hand. And it's always the skinny bitches. Oh! Anyway. So, they were at lunch. Again, it was Mulatto, Rico, Melly, and Cash. And the whole conversation came up again about Mulatto sharing with the group at Melly's little meet and greet situation at his apartment about the fact that Dante spent the night. And Melly was like, listen, I'm cool with Mulatto, but I'm kind of looking at her sideways. I'm feeling some kind of way because I'm not really appreciating the fact that she let everybody know that Dante had spent the night in my house. Like, that wasn't everybody's business. Everybody didn't need to know. And I'm sort of side-eyeing her a little bit. Now, from Mulatto's point of view, her thing is, I don't feel like I did nothing wrong. Like, I told you what I said. Like, I told you what I said. So, anyway, I can see both sides of that coin. You don't need to let everybody know what's going on in my house, but it is what it is, child. I don't think it was that deep, but whatever. So then we have the brunch. Rico and Martell are hosting the ACN TV brunch. Now, when I interviewed Rico said that he contributed to the brunch, even though he couldn't be there. I think he had to work. But he did contribute to the brunch, so I want to make sure that I throw that in there. That wasn't necessarily made clear on the episode, but Rico did tell me that when I interviewed him, so I want to say that. The brunch looked really nice. For the most part, people dressed the part. You know, for whatever reason, we've decided that you dressed up for brunch, right? You know, when you go out to brunch with your friends, it is a dress up event. It is not, it is not a wear some cut off jeans and some toe up sneakers event. It is a dress up event, and so I think everybody was pretty much dressed the part. Looks like I guess they were renting a home of some sort. They had a chef there. But my only confusion was Tevin had security. Unless there's some lost footage that I don't know nothing about, why did you feel the need for security? I don't feel like we needed security. I don't feel like nothing was going down was that deep that we needed security, Tevin. But neither here nor there. Now down to the brunch. I feel like everybody was there except for Rico and Melly. Melly was in Detroit and Rico had to work, but I don't know if I saw Alyssa or not either. But Mulatto, Martell, Eugene, Tevin, Dante, Mega Body, did Cash come? I don't know if Cash was there either. And Jewel was there. Jewel looked really nice. I like that black and white ensemble that she had working. Now, they got to talking about the whole separation of the group, how, they were talking about this side of the table and that side of the table, and what's going on this side of the table versus what's going on that side of the table, and trying to figure out who's on what side. Then Lord Tevin brought up the damn invite-only situation. Listen, let me tell you what I'm tired of. I'm tired of talking about it. I don't see what the big deal is. Maybe I'm missing something, y'all. Maybe something is getting lost in translation. Tevin, you were not invited to the cookout, but you were invited to the trap bingo. Now, I understand your confusion that you were told that is an invite-only situation, but then it was open to the public. Now, for me, what I took it as, the event is open to the public, but to sit at our table is an invite-only. That's how I took it. Because there are a lot of times where something is an open event to the public, but that don't mean you coming with me. That don't mean you get to sit at my table. I might be a VIP, bitch. You don't get to come. I might be at, we might have a table reserved. You don't get to sit there. Like, it is open to everyone, but it is not open to everyone. And that's how I took it. So, Tevin, you are getting so worked up over, well, why was it important for me to come by myself? Why was it important? I want to know who didn't want me there. And you are really trying to figure out and get to the bottom of who said what and who didn't want who there. And it is so not that as serious for me. Tevin, at this point, let it go, baby. Let it go. Let it go. Release it. Because from what I gather, it sounds like it was a consensus among the group that they didn't want. What's funny is they didn't want Martell there. Martell ended up at the damn meet and greet, and they didn't want Martell there because he sort of came along with Eugene's plus one. Tevin is the one they wanted to hang out with away from Martell because they just wanted to kind of see what the energy would be like, and he's the one that didn't even get an invite to come. I thought that was interesting. So then later on in the episode, we got to rehash the shit again with a conversation because Melly called and Mulatto brought it up with Melly, and Melly was like, I'm not going to keep doing this. So he ended up calling Tevin, and what I felt like Melly was saying was, listen, I am interested in getting to know you and hanging out with you. I don't know a lot about you, but what I'm not getting ready to do is do this back and forth bullshit. Like, you came at me, I feel like you came at me a little disrespectful, a little sideways, down to the trap bingo situation, and I didn't appreciate it. But I'm interested in trying to, get to know you better and figure some things out. But I'm gonna need you to let this whole situation go. And Tevin is still stuck on, well, who was invited? Who didn't want me to come? Who said I couldn't come? Why was I invited to this event? Why wasn't I invited to that event? They even went so far as to try to break down the fact that Melly liking Dante and Melly got in his feelings at the friends brunch or the get to know you brunch, whatever the hell brunch it was, when Dante and Tevin decided they were gonna go on a date, and Melly was over there. So they even took it to that. Well, Melly must have got his feelings because I liked him, and it wasn't reciprocal. I don't even know. Jules flirting with the security guard, but she was like, the woman, I guess, is a former cop. And Jules was like, well, if you were still a police officer, I couldn't rock with you because I don't really fuck with the police. But since you're not cool, give me your number. Is that all I got? Is that all I got? They looked like they had a good time. Once again, it was another event where there wasn't no screaming, hollering, cussing, fussing. Very good. Then we had a scene where Alyssa was DJing and everybody was there having a good time. Again, Jewel, they done hooked Jewel up with somebody. Listen, being the only female in a group of guys, it has its privileges because once again, they done tried to hook her up with somebody down to the bar. And that's pretty much what we got in this episode. Again, y'all, we got some little triangles, some little quadruple angles. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I know this episode is old, so y'all might not even care no more, but that's my 2 cents. Okay? Peace.